Hey guys, Nissa Magic here with some fresh off the grill spoilers. So they just revealed what the Nissa Planeswalker looks like. Let's play a multiple choice test game. Is it A, perfectly appropriate in utility in a green deck, and you could throw her in but you could forget her, but she'd be nice, she'd take the pressure off you and she'd be perfect for most decks? Or B, she's hyper overpowered and brings out an emblem that basically just says you win the game on like the next uptick. Or C, she just casts a bunch of crap for free because that's what they do in Amonkhet now. Or is it D, all of the above? I know it's a little bit of a hard choice. Well, it turns out it's C. I bet you thought it was going to be D. Me too, everybody. Me too. Here's the thing. As soon as you bring out a Planeswalker with, we'll just say 5 loyalty, you pretty much have 5 more life points because they're probably going to try to take out the Planeswalker before you, because if they don't, they're going to lose the game. Just because of the sheer power of the Planeswalker and them doing whatever they're doing, it can probably do something that will make you not lose the game, and then it's going to, let off an ultimate that's going to lose you the game. So you really do have to focus on a Planeswalker when it comes out the majority of the time. So with this wonderful one, which is a mixed color, so that limits you a little bit, although the color fixing is so big, this could be the only blue deck or blue card in your deck, and you could probably get away with it. This is in green, the color that has Cryptolith Rite, Scions, I think 6 different mana generating creatures right now. You're not going to have a problem casting this for like 10 to 12, okay? You could even throw this in like an Eldrazi deck, which already uses Kiora. That's like kind of a second-rate deck, but it's very powerful, especially if you're already running Bounty of Deluxa. By the way, little aside, I was reading that card wrong and adding the word next because of the website I was reading it on. Thanks, mythicspoilers.com, for completely getting the text wrong. So anyway, you could cast this for, well, I wouldn't recommend 0. You could cast it for 1, and then you've got another 3-cost Planeswalker. So super early game problems. Now, it's not like she's bringing out, free tokens or free 3/1s or something just utterly crazy. So it's not like you're going to lose on turn 3, but it's not great because you could scry 2 on the turn she comes out. So you cast her for 3, she comes out for 3, basically. Nothing really wrong with that, that's pretty typical. The problem is the very next turn, you're going to draw a card, so there goes half of your scry 2, and that's even if you were able to stack your deck to the point where you left it correct. So basically, well, let's read what the 0 ability does. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card or a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of loyalty counters on Nissa, you may put that card onto the battlefield. More free casting garbage. What the hell is wrong with Wizards of the Coast in this set and the last set with like free casting? They don't want you to pay for anything, and then it keeps breaking Modern over and over and over. In fact, half the decks that run free casting in Standard were broken. Aetherworks Marvel, they had to ban Emrakul because of free casting. It's almost like, you should have to pay for your crap. That's why something costs 13. You shouldn't be able to take a 13 cost and just toss it on the battlefield for free, especially like really early game. Now, that said, this is one of the more limited Nissas. Well, not even Nissas, I mean, it's one of the more limited free casting abilities. So that second ability is so perfect for a landfall Eldrazi fetch deck. It is just insane. You're going to have the Scions, you're going to have the mana, you're going to have Kiora. I mean, it's the perfect deck. It's still kind of a second-rate deck. It really does work together. Now, here's the problem. If you cast her for 8, you could just win the game instantly. Now, there's a lot of like 7 to 9 cost spells that by themselves can win the game instantly. So when you get to that level of mana, okay. The problem is you're pretty damn likely to do it in green. Like if any color was going to generate that much mana in a reasonable amount of time, it's green. So you cast her out for exactly 6 plus 2, and you can untap up to 2 target lands you control. They become 5/5 elemental creatures with flying and haste until end of turn. So 10 damage, you win the game. I mean, there's certainly not a red spell that directly damages the opponent for 8 mana that does 10 damage. And yeah, they could have blockers, but they're gonna die. Those flying lands could kill Gisela, so you better have like Immolating Glare or something that'll actually destroy an attacking creature or fog them or something. Now, the real problem is you could cast her for a much more reasonable 4 or 6 total, so an X value of 4, scry once, and then -6 her. That's 10 damage offset by 1 turn that only costs 6. I mean, that's kind of messed up. I think her utility is so good and her ongoing free casting is so good that you would never want to -6 her if she's at exactly 6, and you could free cast some serious crap if she's at 6, so I don't know. But then the other problem is you'd want to cast her super high, so let's say you bring her out for like an X value of 8. I think that's pretty reasonable in a deck that pays 10 to summon Ulamog. Now you've got to get rid of 8 of her, well, we'll say life points. It's loyalty counters, but you know, you're taking 8 points of pressure off your life total. Now, green doesn't have a ton of life gain right now. What Standard really needs is Life's Legacy. They need to reprint that card. I don't think they will. That card would fix everything with green decks right now, so it sucks that they didn't print it. But anyway, you'd have trouble hitting her. I mean, you really would, especially when she goes up by 2 every single turn. So if somebody had some other little scry assister, like, you know, I think the Starfish is still illegal, but there is a scry every upkeep card. There's also Contingency Plan, the mother of all scry cards, where you could make absolutely sure that even with a dummy card there for your next draw, or play it so that you play it right before her ability and put a high expensive creature on the top of your deck, boom, you just free cast, you know, Bane of Balagat or something just horrific, like a Gear Hulk or something. Now, I said cast, okay, you're not actually casting it, so any on-cast bonuses you won't get, so like Desolation Twin you won't get 2, Ulamog you won't get the Exile effect, but you're still placing it on the battlefield. If you go get Ulamog, you're going to win. So I actually think this card will be played with Contingency Plan because of the volume of scry that you get for your mana. I don't think her Scry 2 ability and then wait a turn is good enough to reliably put a creature on the top of the deck. You'd have to, well, it would have to be in the top 2, basically. I mean, there's not much you have to think about there. And then, like I said, you'd have to put a dummy card to draw during your next draw step, and then not shuffle, and then use her 0 ability. But, you know, it's possible. So, does this card feel fair or fun to play against? No. Is it overpowered? No. It's too slow. It's too, like, oh, I have this much mana, I'm just going to win the game anyway. Like, I'll bring out an X-Hydra or something, which actually doesn't exist in the game at the moment. But, like, usually, if you have, like, 15 mana, yeah, you can probably win the game with it. So, if you bring her out for some absurd amount, yeah, she's going to be a problem. Now, thankfully, they just printed a 3-cost Planeswalker killer in black, so that's kind of nice. I do think that it is a little bit of a problem that she can -6 really quickly for a very small amount of mana, and I also think it's a little bit of a problem that she can get so big in like 3 turns, you know, that she could just toss out an Eldrazi onto the field. So she'll become a problem over time, but, you know, welcome to Planeswalkers, that's how they work. Compared to other Planeswalkers, her ult isn't even that good. It's just you could do the ult the second that she comes out if you cast her for enough, and that's kind of messed up. So what do you think? Do you like her? Will you put her in your deck? I think if she's cheap enough, I might build the Kiora, Nissa, Eldrazi Go Fetch deck, because you can get like a, I don't know about turn 4, but for sure turn 5 Ulamog out with that deck. And a lot of people at my local gaming store are actually playing Eldrazi ramp decks right now because they're really cheap and they're really good. Oh, and of course a lot of them are playing this color mix, so I mean, there you go. By the way, I have to add this because I've been reading the stories, and oh my god, I cannot wait for frickin' Chapter 3 to come out so I can make fun of it. We're gonna get weird with this one. Like, I don't care how much caffeine I gotta drink, it's gonna get weird. I should put that on a shirt. Oh my god, I should put that on a shirt. Quote, I don't care how much caffeine I have to drink, it's gonna get weird. Desolator magic. Anyway, Nissa was kind of pissed because she could barely use any spells because Amonkhet's a crap hole of a desert. In the city, okay, they got some trees and crap, but other than that, she's, you know, having trouble with the complete lack of green mana. And as she said, the green mana just seems like it's sick or like rotting, like at the core of the world. She's all into that freaking hippie, let's sense the chi crap, you know, so she's like, oh yeah, the world is sick. I sense a disturbance in the force. Spoiler alert, they're printing another Jedi Nissa. What? So I guess Jace, maybe, in the storyline will teach her how to use blue mana, or she'll just naturally do it because it's not that far away. I mean, they got that big old river in the middle of the city, and it kind of makes sense. There's barely any green mana, there's barely any blue mana, but there is like trees and there is a river. So she's like, I'll start using blue mana. And in case you didn't notice, Scry 2 is such a blue thing. I mean, barely anything else has Scry at all other than blue. And if they do, it's a really, really small amount. So that's like her blueness. And then the free casting, I don't know, that knows no color at this point. And then, the giant lands into stuff, that's classic green. So I think that's cool that they designed it that way, kind of followed the storyline, followed the lore, I guess. I mean, I guess we'll find out. We don't really know what happens in the story because they haven't printed that part yet. I will say, though, her covering up the T in Stuart, that's just bad. Just move the artwork a little bit. Or like have something, have it, I don't know, the staff sticking out the bottom of the frame. I know that's like kind of the meme is they have something of the Planeswalker's art sticking out of the frame because they're so powerful. Oh boy, fourth wall break. But they're covering one of the letters. I mean, come on. So anyway, that's been Nissa's Sword of Elements. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I won't enjoy playing against it, but whatever. It's one of the more fair cards. I just really, really hate free casting. I really, really, really hate it. Have fun in Standard after this garbage launches, and I'll see you guys next video.